The pregame is brought to you by Greater Twin Cities Honda Dealers, proud sponsors of Minnesota Youth Basketball.
We are between games here, getting set for the AA championship game between the Minneapolis North Polars with their century of tradition and Minnehaha Academy, who have dominated over the last decade. Part of the dominance recently as they go for a three-peat is a player by the name of Jalen Suggs. He is one of the best players in the country, and well, he got on our radar when he was just a young man. We first spotted Jalen Suggs as a highly touted 7th grader playing varsity.
The shooting ability, the ball handling skills, the court sense that not many 7th graders have.
His skills and body have grown. Recruiting experts rank him among the top 10 juniors in the nation, and he's tasted back-to-back state titles.
And what a play by Suggs!
Nothing like it. Like I said, journey. The whole season is a journey with your brothers. You go through so much.
The Redhawks lost 2 seniors and the point guard off last year's title team.
And I said, Jalen, you averaged 15 points a game last year. You got to up that 25.
He told me, like, you're going to have a bigger role this year. You're going to have to score more. You're going to have to, kind of take on the point guard, shooting guard, small forward, and guard some big.
And like that, he did it. And, that's the kind of player he is.
Seems he can do it all. Last fall, he quarterbacked the state football champs and put on a show in the prep bowl.
I see highlights come up here and there, just on my timeline. And definitely I go back and I reminisce. That was just such a good, fun time.
18 Class 4A champions.
Winning that was extremely special.
Suggs has offers from major college football and basketball programs. He'll play both next year as a high school senior, but knows one has to go in college.
This is it, because once you get to college, you kind of got to go one route or the other. It's really hard to manage both of them. So I told myself I kind of want to pick one, when I get there.
A pick 6 for Jalen Suggs.
Till then, a quest for more championships.
I was a little salty when I didn't get in my 8th grade year. So once I got it the 9th grade year, I was like, all right, I can still do the clean sweep. I can still get 4. Hopefully get 2 for football and just kind of close the book on my high school sports career.
And what a career it's already been. Rejoined by Levi Olson and Trent Tucker. Trent, I don't know if I have more fun watching Jalen Suggs play basketball or football.
Well, he's a joy in both. And he's a special young man. I've gotten to know some of the people that has been around him for a very long time. They like his work ethic. He's a very smart kid. But he just loves to participate. And his teammates love him as well. All the good things he brings to a team on the offensive end, he's just so much fun to watch.
Jalen Suggs, kind of the figurehead of this Minnehaha Academy team, and there is Tyler Johnson, once the figurehead of the Minneapolis North team. So he's going to win the AA title next.
Back at the state tournament championship Saturday here on 45 TV. Great to have you with, and great to have you with for this matchup. Man, oh, there's a lot of buzz in this arena about this game, Kevin.
Yeah, they played last month in February at North, and there were some fireworks going on in that ball game. A lot of things were going on, and it was a pretty feisty contest. One player that's going to be important for Minnehaha, we've seen him before, 7-foot sophomore Chet Holmgren. Impressive numbers during the season. Big game against Lake City in the semis. Now, on the other end for Minneapolis North, Nasir El-Amin. Good numbers there during the season as well, and a big part of a very balanced Minneapolis North attack.
Players to watch brought to you by Mills House. Try it at the house. Let's go courtside. Here's Jim Burns.
Once again, fans, good afternoon. The city of Minneapolis and the Minnesota State High School League welcoming you to the Target Center for continuing play on Championship Saturday. Our upcoming matchup is the Class 2A Championship matchup and features our champions of Section 4, a record of 28-2, the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks. And the champions of Section 5, a record of 23-9, the Minneapolis North Polars. And now direct your attention courtside. Let's meet today's starting lineups. For the Redhawks, at a forward, a 6'4" junior, number 2, Caden Johnson. For Minneapolis North and a forward, a 6-foot senior, 1, Omar Brown. For the Redhawks and a forward, a 6'5" freshman, number 10, Prince Alegbe. And for Minneapolis North and a guard, a 6'1" freshman, 24, Willie Wilson. For Minnehaha Academy, starting at center, a 7-foot sophomore, 34, Chet Holmgren. For Minneapolis North, starting at center, a 6'6" sophomore, 35, Davon Townley Jr. For Minnehaha Academy at a guard, a 6'4" junior, number 1, Jalen Suggs. For Minneapolis North at a guard, a 6-foot senior, 2, Eli Campbell. And for Minnehaha Academy at a guard, a 5'10" senior, 44, Siegel Howard. And for Minneapolis North at a guard, a 6-foot senior, number 12, Nasir El-Amin. The Minnehaha Academy assistant coaches, Chandler Santel, Pete Hamburgy, Randy Carter, and Ryan Johnson. The head coach of the Redhawks, Lance Johnson. And for Minneapolis North, the assistant coaches, Christopher Johnson and Michael Sheldon, and Trent Works. The head coach of the Polars, Larry McKenzie. Our officials for this afternoon's matchup, Steve Brinson, Jeff Jankowski, and Scott Malagi.
What a matchup this will be, Kevin. There's no lack of talent here, and there's a lot of Division I talent in the house right now in this game. Let's check out this starting lineup, brought to you by Education Minnesota, the voice for professional educators and students.
Well, a bit of a size advantage. Obviously, when you got a 7-footer like Holmgren on your squad for the Redhawks, there's Chet right there. That can kind of distort things and make things difficult for North on both ends of the floor. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, the emotion doesn't go too far in this ballgame. I would think it's going to be just fine, but hey, this is a state championship game. They both desperately want to hold the trophy at the end, so this is certainly an interesting matchup.
You know, Kevin, one of the things you forget about, we talk a lot about these two teams, but one thing Minnehaha Academy has, they have a lot of thickness with some of their players. I mean, Caden Johnson and Prince Alegbe, and
yeah.
I mean, 4 out of the 5 starters are just thick, and so they're very strong, very physical, and then we've seen what Minneapolis North can do. Boy, did they look good last game.
Wow. Yeah, I think North is playing the best that they've played in the entire season. They've got a bunch of losses, but they've beefed up their schedule impressively.
He started out hot yesterday, and that shot for Holmgren won't go. But look at Alegbe way up in the air, and the rebound is good by the freshman. Dave Lee with Kevin Lynch. Allie Arlt will join us here in just a few minutes courtside as we begin this exciting, much talked about state 2A championship game. North and Minnehaha Academy, 2 outstanding programs. Campbell down in the corner. They'll try the inside. Nothing there. El-Amin, that jumper from the corner of the free throw line, pretty darn good, and it's hard to stop that.
Yeah, that's going to be there quite a bit for him. He's just got to make it, but nice under controlled, penetrating and pull-up jumper.
Caden Johnson, 6'4", out to Prince Alegbe, and off the glass now going to go Holmgren with a great wingspan out there.
7'4" wingspan. Not surprising when you're a 7-footer. A legitimate 7-footer.
Howard strong to the hoop, can't get it. Rebound chase. Good fight and good effort. Nice battle for that ball. It's a possession arrow right there, and that's going to go back to North. Let's check out keys to the game, brought to you by the Greater Twin Cities Honda dealers, proud sponsors of Minnesota youth basketball.
Well, if you're the Redhawks, dominate the paint. You got a little bit of a size advantage, or a bigger size advantage with the 7-footer. Alegbe and Johnson have to do some things. They're kind of role players on this team. Minneapolis North, I think they're going to approach this game with a little bit of payback on their minds and get balanced scoring. And then they can be in this game and potentially win it if they get that balance.
Yeah, trying to go up with it was Townley Jr. in a travel call, so they'll turn it over, come back the other way. There's a good look at Chet Holmgren. Kevin played with his dad in college. And we talk about the heights in these programs sometimes. We're not sure how truthful some of them are, but he's 7 foot, isn't he?
Yeah, there's guys in the state, that are listed at 6'10", and they're a nice play there by Prince getting to the basket and getting fouled. But no, Dave, you're exactly right with some of these heights. And go ahead.
No success. Elamine limp back to the midcourt line, so he's okay.
We have to keep our eye on him. But no, you have players that are listed at 6'7", and they're listed at 6'10", and they're actually about 6'7". Chet Holmgren, well, his dad is 6'11", 7 feet, and Chet is a good 7-footer. So yeah, sometimes they inflate these heights, but this kid is legitimately 7 feet tall.
I like this freshman right here, Ligbe. Man, he looked good yesterday. Well, they all did. Everybody in this game, they all won. They've won 2 games in the state tournament, but he's going to be special.
Yeah, he gets overshadowed a bit, right? I just call him kind of more of a role player, and he is, but he's going to have his time to shine the next few years. But and he's still learning. He's just a young kid, but I mean, you can just see the talent coming off him.
Well, he's been offered at Illinois and Western Kentucky as a 9th grader.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Omar Brown, 6'2" senior, will send it over to Eli Campbell. Good guard group on this team. There's Willie Wilson. Here's another freshman, by the way. Impressive kid. 6'3". He'll average about 9 a game right in that vicinity. Elamine with the ball. 4-2. Early lead for the Red Hawks down underneath. And look at a series of passes. And then Holmgren gets his hands up and blocks the shot. That was great defense after a beautiful offensive series. Suggs running down. It's going to be a double dribble.
Yeah, he traveled on that play. He just was hurried. Here's down at the other end, Townley Jr. I think one way North should approach this game is take it right to the shot blocker. If you can get Holmgren in foul trouble and he's spending some time on the bench, that's going to completely change how North is going to approach this team in a lot of different ways if Holmgren's out of the game.
We're going to try that matchup just what you're talking about, Kevin.
Go to him.
The baseline, they'll pop the shot. Rebound to Ligbe. He's up there to get that one. And the lead pass to Holmgren from Suggs. Nice pass. Shot is up, and that's a foul. And Eli Campbell will get the foul. Holmgren will go to the free throw line. Now, as I was reading the Star Tribune this morning, Jim Paulson had an interesting piece there talking about Minnehaha. And this was the quote from Mr. Holmgren. He said, "People tell me sometimes that I don't look like I'd be a good basketball player, that I'm just tall." He said, "I love the criticism, love the hate. It pushes me."
Okay, can I make a comment about, because I read that same thing today. It's the younger generation today that when they get criticized, they take it as hate, which is, it seems ridiculous to me, but we're from a different generation, Dave. But if you want to use that people talking about you as fuel, these young kids, that you should do that. Use it to motivate you.
Well, you and I too, you and I both agree, and we have through the year, that he does look like a really good basketball player. Wow. I mean, he can do everything. We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you look at Lance Johnson right there, the head coach for Minnehaha. Obviously, Chet's got to put weight on. Now, it's not easier said than done. He's really a skinny guy, but it doesn't mean he's not strong. He can be wiry strong, too, and the weight's going to come on to some degree, but he's got the important parts. He's got the height, obviously, and he's got skills. And the strength, and he'll fill out a bit more as he gets older, too, so he'll be fine.
Nice pass, and the shot, trying to get it up, and again, he is taken down to the hardwood, so he'll go back to the free throw line.
Well, that's part of this, is get physical with him. Push him around a little bit. Maybe he'll get a foul or two because he tries to retaliate. But there's no question he's got a lot of skills for a tall kid. Only a sophomore, think of that. But believe me, like you said, Dave, we talked about it yesterday, a lot of big programs are super intrigued by what this kid could be at some point.
Yeah, major D1 prospect.
Yep.
Several offers already, as you mentioned. At the free throw line. You know, he's a 71% free throw shooter, too, Kevin.
Well, you know, his dad, Dave, was a really good shooter for a big guy, too. Dave just had faulty knees. That was his problem, his health.
Championship Saturday, 45 TV. Much more to come from the Target Center, downtown Minneapolis. The first half is brought to you by WSB, shaping the future one project at a time.
Welcome back to Championship Saturday, where we've talked about the fact that Minnehaha beat North just over a month ago by 4 points. So I asked Coach McKenzie, what did they learn from that game that they're going to apply today? And he said, you know, we learned that we can play with them. Our kids are not intimidated. He said that game a month ago was for bragging rights, but this game, this stands for something. Coach told his team that rarely in life are you given a second chance to make a first impression, and today they have that chance. And he says there is no question that his team has the fire in them for this one.
Yeah, they're bringing a lot of energy, and there's another block from behind, and this one's from Caden Johnson. Defensively, the Red Hawks doing a great job. Just when it looks like North has a good shot, Kevin, it's smashed.
Yeah, North is doing a good job of attacking right at the rim. Good pass there by Campbell. Johnson just came up behind him. Could have utilized a little shot fake, which might have freed him up. But then again, you got the 7-footer looming, too. You got to deal with.
Out on top, Elamine directing traffic from the right side of that offense. And that jump shot is on the way. Not going to go. There's Holmgren with the board. Right back to Jalen Suggs. And quickly down court in the hands of Donovan Smith. Donovan gets a lot of playing time off of that bench. Cross-court pass. That's an open look for three. Johnson. Tipped up by Suggs. Brought down by Holmgren. The dribble off of his foot. The battle.
Great hustle.
Good. Yeah, that's Hadley. Good hustle. And now North has it. Bodies go down. Another turnover. And it's picked off by Elamine. And he'll take it down on a 3-on-2. And Holmgren blocks it. Look at the back and forth action. Here's Suggs. That's going to be up off the glass. Wow. Buckle up.
You better catch your breath here. Boy, the Red Hawks. Boy, Minneapolis North just making a few mistakes, and the Red Hawks are just converting at the other end. But some entertaining but yet sloppy play here. Watch this block by Holmgren, Dave, just stretching out. Yeah, you can't shoot easily over a guy that height, and Suggs converts, but the pace of this game is kind of what we anticipated.
Johnson muscling in. Good defense that time by Townley. And a no-look pass, and this layup is up and in by Devon Townley Jr.
Great job by Eli Campbell to keep the dribble alive in transition long enough so Holmgren had to make a decision, and then he shuffles it off to the big guy, number 35 there, Townley Jr., who converts.
Aligbe, open look, Smith on the way, high, arching three, in and out. Rebound bounces back to Elamine. He's all over the court. Nasher will take it down that right side. He'll push that baseline. The drive, not going to go. The call is a charge on Elamine.
Take a replay of it. Elamine turning the corner. And that's a good call. That was a good job by Smith to get in position. I thought Elamine maybe could have shoveled the ball off to Townley Jr., who was kind of sinking into the lane. Holmgren was hanging around too, though, so that complicated matters. But out of control, Elamine was.
Craig McDonald just came in. He's number 4. We're talking about how thick and well-built these Red Hawks are. Here's a young man who I think just accepted a scholarship to Iowa State for football. So
he looks like he means business on the gridiron.
Suggs and Brown. Kind of like that matchup. Omar peeling his case. No free throw.
Dave, you talk about good football programs. How about North recently winning a few football championships? That was maybe a couple years ago. So these are kids that are on the football field as well.
Look at the alley-oop to Holmgren, and then he is fouled underneath. Holmgren's been on the deck a lot here to start this game. That fall on Eli Campbell.
Well, I think that shows that the approach by the Polars, how they're going to handle a big guy like that. He's not going to want to get pushed around, and North is going to do it. Going to work him over a little bit.
That was a tough pass for him, too, actually. Holmgren at the free throw line. North fans didn't like that call, and he has 5 points in the game, all of them right there from the stripe on gift tosses.
Yeah, his dad, Dave, just had bad knees. I mean, throughout college, when I played with him when he was a fifth-year senior, but Dave could always shoot it. He had good touch for a big guy.
McDonald on a travel. That shows you his strength. He just grabbed that ball away. So a lot of athleticism out on this court. Redhawks. Lance Johnson, 17 years as the head coach. Polars now down by 10, trying a little rally of their own going right here. See Clifford Brown, the third, has come in for Larry McKenzie's Minneapolis North team. This is Brown, Campbell, and there you see Brown, the third. And a drive on the baseline, nothing on the other side right now for Josh Hodges. He's in the game as well. Josh, a 6'6" senior. So there's Elamine on the floater. Not going to go. And on the rebound, boy, there's a good battle for it. It's out of bounds. That's going to go back to the Redhawks.
Yeah, Elamine was able to bring it in, but he was sitting on top of the baseline. Easy call. Ref was right there.
Aligbe will inbound the ball. Redhawks with the early lead, 14-4. Both these teams looked unbeatable last night.
You know, and when these two teams played at North last month, apparently Minnehaha Academy was up like 20 at half, and North came charging back in the second half and made it really interesting at the very end, but they pulled it out, but had the big lead earlier on in that game.
Lots of Suggs and Brown contests now, not giving them much room. Where you see the fouls right now. None on the Redhawks so far.
Yeah, this is a good matchup with Omar Brown and Suggs, two strong athletes.
There's a screen. McDonald disagreeing with the call there on that one.
Take a look at Omar Brown right there. Here's the good matchup right here. And screen is set, moving. McDonald just too much action on that pick. Brown goes down to the floor, and it's Minneapolis North basketball.
Larry McKenzie yelling out signals to Elamine. He listens and moves the ball up, guarded by Donovan Smith. Brown gets it down low, and that shot up just off of the edge by Darius Hansen, and the ball goes back to the Redhawks. Closed captioning is brought to you by Touchstone Energy. Together, we save.
Well, North just hasn't really gotten into sync offensively. It's going to eventually happen, I think, in this game. And you give credit to that Red Hawk defense has kind of set the tone early on. North is trying to find their way.
Oh, good anticipation. And as Hodges going to take it downtown and put it right down the cylinder. Make sure of that one, 14-6.
Maybe that'll get them going on that end.
Suggs. Travel.
I don't know what happened there. He grabbed the basketball. Here's the previous play. Watch this little dance move by the ref. It's Denny Terrio.
He had to turn around and make that call. That's pretty good athleticism all by itself.
Nice little steal here, and 2-foot, two-handed dunk, and maybe that'll get North kind of rolling on offense.
Elamine and Smith bringing it down. Boy, defense is everything. Elamine gets that low post matchup that he wanted.
Boy, and he knew Holmgren was around. He kind of hung in the air and just delayed when he was going to take that shot, so Holmgren wouldn't be there to affect the shot.
Howard to Holmgren. He's open for three, and no stranger to putting it up outside the arc. Ball up for grabs. Look at Howard. Like a fumble, went right after it, but knocks it out of bounds. So it'll go back to North trying to cut the gap. They have the 6. They were just down by 10. Let's take a timeout. We have 10:36 to go in the first half of this one. And we'll look at this dunk from Hodges to take you to break.
Hero Do It sign.
Family fun goes back to the 80s with the Goldbergs, 5 nights a week at 6 and 6:30 on 45 TV. And welcome to the State High School Tournaments, an annual event here, and marking the first full week of spring. And it is just weather-wise been beautiful outside here in downtown Minneapolis. Inside, plenty of action. If you're toying with coming on down here today, do it. Got this game to finish, and then tonight, be 2 dandies. Look at the range of that 3. Oh, my. They did GPS to track that thing. It just hit the back of the iron, too. Almost.
Touched the scoreboard above the court here almost. It was that high. That was deep, too.
Howard. Suggs, boy, Brown is all over him. He might have grabbed his wrist. No, it's on Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, Brown got a hand on it and looked like he was going to track it down, and Suggs tried to jump in there. And watch this great pressure defense by Omar Brown. Tips it free, going to get possession, then Suggs kind of shoved him down to the floor. That was a great effort by Omar.
2 fouls on Jalen. Omar going right to the hoop and drives in and draws a foul. It'll be, I believe, on Caden Johnson. No shot here.
Right before he went up into that shot was when the contact occurred. That was an aggressive drive by Brown.
Eli Campbell with the inbound pass tipped up in the air by Howard. And then right down back to the top of the key. They'll set their offense. Elamine will back it up. Take a look. This time coming from the left side. Usually he works over on that side. See something he likes. A drive, and Holmgren. Boy, you go inside and he's there. That's even if he doesn't block it, you're thinking about it.
Well, that's the old saying by Bill Russell, is you don't have to block every shot, but you want them to think you're going to block every shot. That's a great quote by Bill Russell, and so true.
There's a drive inside the lane, not going to go, and that one isn't going to go. Foul on the court. I had a chance to sit with Bill Russell in there for an hour just shooting the breeze.
Boy, I would love to meet that guy.
Oh, yeah, what a guy.
Hey, Dave, I want to bring up a couple former Minneapolis North players. One is in the state tournament program. There's a great little interview with Brett McNeil, Mr. Basketball, 1985, a terrific player. You know, obviously a storied history for Minneapolis North and boys basketball, but Brett, I've known Brett a lot, used to play against him, terrific guy, and it's just really interesting little interview about Brett McNeil. Also, I want to bring up, a few months ago, the great Ben Coleman passed away, and Ben was, I think, 79, 80 grad from Minneapolis North, and went to the University of Minnesota for a couple years and transferred to Maryland, and then played in the NBA I played against Ben when he was in the NBA. And terrific guy, and unfortunately he passed away, and I just kind of want to give a shout out to both those guys.
Thrown away, turnover ball, go back to Minneapolis North. Boy, Brown is giving Suggs 0 room.
He's making them work.
North now trying to cut the gap. They have a little bit. They were down by 10. Great play. Suggs against Elamine, lays it up and in. So quick.
Look at North attack. Even though they gave it up and gave up a layup, they are in attack mode right from the beginning.
Last Minnehaha field goal up to that one was 13:41, so it had been a while.
There's Jalen. You know, we talked about this the other day, just how he's committed to playing defense. You get a lot of these highly ranked kids around the country, and they want to be only offensive players. He looks like he enjoys playing defense and getting steals and disrupting offenses, and that's one of his strengths for sure.
Howard, the senior, over to Johnson. Johnson going to be another one of those football players. And this time a foul will be called on the top on Brown.
Not letting Suggs breathe, making him work. Well, I think Brown is talking to the refs right now saying, hey, he's grabbing me. I'm just trying to free myself.
So now we get the bonus, too.
Suggs has been known to do some of that, where he's a guy who kind of understands he can hook a player, and then you flail. It looks like you're getting fouled. And Jalen has learned that from watching a lot of NBA.
One more time at the free throw line for Jalen Suggs, who I think every team in the country wants. Kevin, I can't imagine there's anybody didn't want him, but not just for, as we talked at the top, where Chris was talking about football as well. And he got them both.
Yeah, we could have a debate here of what his higher ceiling is, and obviously basketball, talented kid. Football, he might have just as much or more talent.
Good to have options.
Yeah, exactly.
And Power moved to the basket. Good try, but look at where Suggs was to pull that down, right off of the rim. And he gets past the defense, takes it in himself, and spins it up there. Won't go. He hits the deck. He's slow to get up. Here comes Minneapolis North. Brown, look at that feed. Got to go over Holmgren, can't do it. And the battle for it, Holmgren has it. Suggs is still down there limping on the other end of the court. Here comes Howard, got a 3-on-2. A leg bang from the corner, too hard. Rebound, North. Campbell underneath now with
here we go.
A lot of pressure. Here comes Elamine. There's It's fast out here.
Yeah, fast and furious.
On the way, in and out. Rebound to Ligbe. And Prince.
They're going to slow it down here. They got to catch their breath from.
So does the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. The broadcasters, too.
Hey, nice crowd, too, Kevin. It's the lower bowl is full. Love it. Well, how can you not want to see this game? Allwood kind of weaves his way in, and I think a lot of people thought he was going to pass that, Kevin, and he recognizes he's going in. He had the shot.
Townley Jr. was just a split second late of spanking that shot out of bounds, but just couldn't get his fingers on it.
On the other end from the free throw line, that's a good place for him to shoot, but just won't go for Devon Townley Jr. So Suggs will bring it up, this time guarded by Campbell. Slowly crossing over and feeding it off underneath to Ligbe. Couldn't quite handle it. Ball stripped from him by Elamine. He picks it back up, and now he's fouled.
Elamine got a good chunk of the basketball as Prince was trying to gather himself, and here's Suggs. It'd be fun to slow down that move to see if he took an extra step. Sometimes it looks funky, but it's not a travel. But Ligbe is going to find himself at the free throw line right now as the pace and the intensity of this game is picked up.
They're 9 of 10 from the free throw line as a team right now in this first half, leading 20-9. They've slowed down scoring here a little bit in the last 5 minutes. That time he gets it again.
Omar Brown for Minneapolis North is making Suggs work.
Part of the Metro Athletic Conference. Breck, Minnehaha Academy, of course. You're watching Providence, St. Paul Academy, and Summit, Blake, Mounds Park Academy.
And they really beef up their non-conference schedule. They play a ton of teams. They played Hopkins twice here. The only 2 losses this year were to Hopkins and Eden Prairie as well. They beat Eden Prairie.
Let's take a timeout on Championship Saturday on 45 TV. Check out the fan cam. It's brought to you by Xfinity Mobile, a new kind of network designed to save you money. Minneapolis North Polar fans here. Another nice crowd today. Red Hawk fans in the house. They've been loud. I think maybe they need a little break too from all the action out here.
Well, we knew it was going to be played fast and aggressive, and it has not disappointed. Now, hopefully North. Again, the defense by Minnehaha Academy has been pretty good, and North is trying to find their way against a little more size here. I think they're going to be fine once they get in sync a little bit, but it's been a struggle so far.
On the side, there's Holmgren with another block. A Ligbe stop, good defense. Didn't allow him to get the break. But I guess that tells you the strength of Minnehaha, too. Jalen Suggs, he's got some points, but got a lot of guys on this team that can score.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he runs the show. Look at this little zone here by North, and they're spread out. So this is a good decision there by Larry McKenzie. Give them a different look.
Try to go underneath, pick it off on the new defense. Hodges got it. Quickly down. Eli Campbell. The pick on the left side, no value, and then they'll just go back to the right-hand side. Back over this side to Wilson, and then stolen. There's Caden Johnson. Back to Craig McDonald, over to Siegel Howard, and away they go with their offense, leading 22-9 in half number 1. State championship number 2 to be decided here this afternoon at Target Center.
Sometimes teams go into zones to test their outside shooting, and you know that's a good decision. If Minnehaha struggles to make outside shots, he might as well stay in the zone and just kind of tempt them to pull the trigger. And if they miss, then the defense is doing a good job, Dave.
Well, what are the Red Hawks doing right now, Kevin?
Well, they're just trying to find an opening, get the ball to the free throw line. That's where a defense can break down. So I'd like to see Holmgren inside a little bit more, but they're going to play him on the wing as a 7-footer. But he should be getting close to the basket. That's where he's most dangerous.
Well, but this is about as deliberate as I've seen either one of these teams. Methodical.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just they're a little bit confused on how they want to attack this. But the free throw line, Dave, that's a great place to kind of break it down, or along the baseline, that short corner area it's called. And Minnehaha Academy's got to get on the same page on how to attack this. The defense looks pretty solid for Minneapolis North.
Let's look at some of these blocks.
Well, yeah, long arms, 7-footers typically have pretty long arms, and there's Holmgren. And a lot of times those blocks can kind of initiate a fast break. And North is just that. I think that's maybe the biggest reason why North is struggling a little bit offensively, is because you're dealing with such a long character in there, and he's distorting the game because of his length and size.
You had a long chat with Lance Johnson before the game. What did he tell you?
Well, I asked him about the game last month, and they said it got really testy with the North crowd and kind of badgering Jalen Suggs, and Suggs got really emotional. And he said, yeah, we got up 20 at halftime, and the North came charging back, and it was a really good game at the end. So, and some of these players know each other, but they get pretty feisty when they're competing.
Yeah, it's a different world with summer basketball. A lot of them play ball together all over, you know.
Right.
Coming up later, the Waseca De La Salle game. Look forward to that. For those of you who haven't seen Waseca play, pretty interesting squad. Oh my! That is way out of here. That was
the basketball hit the media table, and something the ball hit something. The thing just popped out by the cheerleaders.
There's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in camera gear sitting down there.
Well, that's pocket change for you, my friend. And just open up that wallet occasionally.
But the computers and Jim and Leo and the gang down there that do a nice job here at security, they were down there trying to help out. Minneapolis North now trying to get into double digits and cut this gap a little bit. And now they're being quite patient. Elamine lost the ball there. I don't know if it was tipped out by Oligbe or not, but he's got it. Back to Holmgren. Tough pass off the ankles. He hung on to it. And back out to McDonald, and there's Jalen Suggs. McDonald, Jalen drawing double coverage. Caden, Oligbe, nice move, and a good strip by Elamine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the quick defenders for North can get in there, and Oligbe got in there, took one little power dribble, and there was Elamine to kind of strip it free. Right here, you didn't really see number 12, but he's the one that got a good chunk of the ball.
Underneath to the big guy. Chet covered up. Going to try the top. And that is Smith. Won't go. Good rebound by Holmgren, and he's got it. You know, I want to mention Smith. This is because he came in earlier this year. He's off the bench. He's a great player. There's a 2-game stretch this year where Donovan was 13 for 13 on 3-pointers.
Really?
And that's the guy coming off the bench.
Yeah, you know, I saw when these guys played at Breck about 3 weeks ago, and he came off the bench and he just filled it up. He could not miss from 3.
I love the passing down low, but you get it in the middle, and if Holmgren's nearby, you got no shot. Now that's a foul on this particular one, but he is a force, man, and that will be on him.
No fouls until right there. That was his first foul of the game. I would imagine North came into this game with Larry McKenzie saying, take it right to him. He gets 2 or 3 fouls in the first half, goes on the bench. That can really affect what happens here. So that's a good idea. He's going to block some shots. You can't really deny that. But take it to the big man instead of constantly fading away. And I think North is going to do that.
Prior to this, 21 state tournaments they've played in. Champs in 80, 95, 96, 97, 03, 16, 17. That's quite a legacy going there. Hodges, one more time for Josh.
Well, the great players through the years is too many to list right now from North.
Here's a look back at last year's championship game, brought to you by Old Dutch, generations of taste sensations.
In last year's 2A final, Minnehaha Academy took on Caledonia. The Redhawks were led by the multi-talented Jalen Suggs, who led all scorers with 27. And there's a good look at his teammate, Giovanni Bickham, who chipped in 17 as Minnehaha Academy beat the Warriors 73-60. That was the Redhawks' second straight title, so they're shooting for the trifecta here today, Kevin.
Yeah, if you look behind the Minnehaha Academy bench, there's Bickham right down there. He got hurt. He was going to go to Denver. As you look at those past champions, that's that Bram team, Dave, I was talking about. 2016, I believe it said. And that was the team that we kind of compared to Henning earlier today. And that was a fun team to watch. They were terrific.
Suggs getting past the defense and hangs in the air, puts it up, missed it. Good rebound down low, getting good position as Devon Townley Jr. And then a quick pass, the layup hanging in the air. Hodges, what a beauty.
You press Minneapolis North and they carve it up. They are going to be attacking once they get through that first part of the press, which they did right there.
Johnson, little double team trap over there, cross court pass. Smith, a lig bait to Holmgren underneath, trying to do an alley-oop, couldn't get it. And here comes North, and Smith tried to go for the steal, but got a little too much of the body in there, and he'll draw the foul, and that'll be Eli Campbell right there going to the stripe.
Yep. Break the press and then attack. Yeah, that's what I always say. You know, when teams press you, is if you can get past it, then there are typically some openings, and you got to get into attack mode to punish teams that press you.
You're a little surprised by the low-scoring contest we have here?
Yeah, a little bit. I guess I'm not surprised North is maybe struggling to play a defense that's got a taller front line and got Holmgren in there doing things. So, yeah, somewhat, but I think they're going to be fine. They're keeping it close enough where they can strike.
Jalen, Suggs, and Brown. That's been quite a matchup here in this first half. Two talented athletes going at it right head-to-head. One-on-one, literally. Yeah. Number one on number one. Howard. Crowd in a little quiet mode right now. Look at that, all by himself underneath the basket. So Howard's got his first two of the game.
Boy, how did he shake that free? That's a mistake somewhere along the line there to get something that easy.
Elamine down low, and they'll try drive against Holmgren. A solid rejection there. Campbell trying to spin around, get that lane. Nothing there. Suggs does a good job cutting that off. And again, going right after Holmgren, and that shot is no good. And Chet does his job, alters the shot, gets the board, back to Suggs. He'll bring it down. The 6'4" junior, by the way. And Brown will match up here at midcourt.
That nice spin move there by Townley Jr. just went a little too fast and couldn't convert on that nice move.
Foul on Brown.
Watch this move by Townley Jr. And good block by Holmgren. Yeah, that's not easy to score over a guy with long arms like that. Holmgren, good timing on his blocks.
That's 3 on Omar Brown too, and of course he's been in charge of guarding Jalen Suggs. So he is out now for the rest of the half, I'm sure, for Larry.
I think a lot of guys that guard Suggs, Dave, they probably go into the game, they're a little taken back, a little scared. But Omar Brown is not, and he is relishing this challenge to guard a kid like this, and it's been fun to watch him just try to make it uncomfortable for Suggs, which he's done.
But Suggs is, 10 points. He's going to get his points. Elamine on that right side again. He's got a double team coming at him. They split that up quickly, and then the fadeaway jumper. And a good tip, and it still won't go. Another time won't go. It's a volleyball game, and the battle for the ball is in the hands of Elamine. That's knocked loose by Caden Johnson. And a foul is called.
The Holmgren effect. He just hangs out under the basket, and the North players want to penetrate and get into the lane, and they know he's there. Again, you don't need to block every shot. That's the quote by Bill Russ. You don't need to block every shot, but you want them to think you're going to block every shot, and you get into their heads.
Elamine, 2 points in the game so far today. Nasir averages 12 a game, and 76% free throw shooter, one of the better shooters in the game at the stripe. Leg base still comes back in. Howard will take a break. Good look at Elamine right there as he gets set to shoot his second free throw, trying to cut the gap as much as he can before going to halftime. Even a little run here would help them with momentum. Meanwhile, the Red Hawks with a comfortable lead here so far in this game. Suggs will walk it up. Gets past his defender, and then a nice dish, and the attempted dunk is no good. But a foul is called, and I think it'll be on Devon Townley Jr.
There's a nice dunk attempt there that's an obvious foul on Townley Jr. But Elamine and Suggs kind of had their arms tangled after the whistle was blown, and thankfully cooler heads prevailed. There was nothing major, but they were mixed up, and And you can tell it's a little testy between the two of them.
That's 5 in a row now for Prince. They are really shooting free throws well here, Kevin. 14 of 15 I have here for them in the first half.
That is going to help them at the end of ball games when it's close. The few games it does get close with this team, to have confidence you can get to that point and hit some clutch ones.
Got them both. Good looking form from that freshman. Looks older than his years with the way he plays the game.
Suggs' outside jump shot and free throw form are excellent. Legbay's same situation. Nice mechanics.
North trying to drive in with the ball is Wilson. Stolen by the Red Hawks, and they'll push it. Suggs, lead pass to Johnson, and that ball defended nicely underneath by North, and they'll create the possession arrow, which will go right back to Minnehaha Academy. Boy, sometimes it gets loud in here with this great crowd, and right now it's quiet.
Sometimes when it gets quiet, it's not bad, because when it does get loud, then you really appreciate it. So but yeah, this game,
That's
a lot of jockeying for position down there.
It sure is.
That's part of their strategy, is push Holmgren around a little bit, which the Townley Jr. is doing. Make him feel you.
Donovan Smith, they won't give him too much room to shoot either. Caden Johnson. Just going to work it around there. Smith, fake pump, backs it up. Suggs comes around to help. And
look at Campbell. He is all over Suggs.
He's focused. Gets the screen. Look at
great
how
defense.
far out was that? That darn near got that shot. Yeah. Smith blocked by Elamine. And Johnson at the buzzer won't count. So that's the end of the first half. 30-15. The Red Hawks with the lead in this one. But didn't Coach McKenzie say that it was the second half in their last meeting when they made their move?
Yeah, Lance Johnson said they were down 20. North was, or they were up 20. Minnehaha was in that game, and North came back in the second.
So they'll go in, and there's Coach McKenzie. Great resume from him. Let's go down to Allie. She's courtside.
Coach, just 15 points allowed in that first half.
Well, we've defended all year, and so what we've tried to do is take away.
To come back and score 44 points in the second half. How do you maintain this lead and not allow that to happen again?
No, we got to keep our focus. We know this is the last game of the season, so ain't no tomorrows. So if you really care about what's going on out here, and we've been preparing for this all year, it's time, man. I think we're good.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Allie. Back here at Target Center today, where they'll give out some of the awards and trophies here today in between games. Got a lot of halftime activities set up for this. It's fun to see this, and we're going to go down to Jimmy Burns. He's got the announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's celebration time here at the Target Center, and today's celebration honors the 2019 AAA Award winners. The AAA award goes to high school seniors who have a 3.0 or higher grade point average and who participate in league-sponsored athletic and fine arts activities. This award is sponsored by Fairview Sports and Orthopedic Care and the Institute for Athletic Medicine. Awarding medals to these outstanding students are Bonnie Spohn-Schmaltz and Craig Anderson, the president and vice president of the Minnesota State High School League's Board of Directors, and Heidi Richards of Fairview Sports and Orthopedic Care. They'll be assisted by Eric Martins and Jody Redmond of the Minnesota State High School League. And now, the 2019 Academic Arts and Athletics Award finalists. Representing Region 1A, Madison Michaels of Mabel Canton High School. And Ryan Hansen of Alden Conger High School. Representing Region 2A, Regan Severson of Mountain Lake High School. Representing Region 3A, Elijah Kirstein of Springfield High School. Representing Region 4A, Abigail Lance of St. Paul Academy and Summit School. And Colin Clark Bracewell of St. Croix Preparatory Academy. Representing Region 5A, Kennedy Kleist of Eden Valley Watkins High School. Representing Region 6A, Morgan Glantz of Ferndale High School. And Jared Johnson of Morris Area High School. Representing Region 7A, Danielle Reinberg of Crosby Ironton High School. And Samuel Ringo of Esco High School. Representing Region 8A, Julie Wojciuk of Lake of the Woods High School. And Tate Hoseth of Northern County East High School. Representing Region 1AA, Emily Rarick of Owatonna High School. Representing Region 2AA, Brianna Hyberm of Waseca High School. And Davis Moore of Worthington High School. Representing Region 3AA, Benjamin Borchard of Simley High School. Representing Region 4AA, James Wald of St. Anthony Village High School. Representing Region 5AA, Michael Chow of Moundsview High School. Representing Region 6AA, Ben Aoki Sherwood of Robbinsdale Armstrong High School. Representing Region 7AA, Molly Weberg of Duluth East High School. And representing Region 8AA, Erica Schramm of Wilmer High School. Also selected as AAA Award finalists, but unable to be with us today, Sarah Best of Waterville Elysian Morristown High School, representing Region 2A. And Alexander Prokosh of Henry Sibley High School, representing Region 3AA. Aaron Beer of Roseville Area High School, representing Region 4AA. Nora Griffin Wiesner of Robbinsdale Cooper High School, representing Region 6AA. Matthew Brodier of Andover High School, representing Region 7AA. And Harley Inez of Wilmer High School, representing Region 8AA. And the 2019 State Academic Arts and Athletics Award goes to, representing Region 3A, Cassidy Smith of Tracy Area High School. Representing Region 5A, Sean Donovan of Onamia High School. Representing Region 5AA, Lauren Bastian of Anoka High School. And representing Region 1AA, Brockton Lawhead of Austin High School. Fans of the Minnesota State High School League will award a $4,000 scholarship to Cassidy, Sean, Lauren, and Brockton. Please join the league in congratulating these students for their outstanding achievements.
Halftime is brought to you by Tria Orthopedic Center. For the athlete in all of us, there's Tria.
Welcome back to Championship Saturday Halftime. Joined now with two of our AAA award winners who demonstrate excellence in arts, academics, and athletics. I have Sean Donovan from Onamia High School here. Sean, what are some of the top things you're involved with over at Onamia?
I'm in basketball, football, baseball, and I'm in band, choir, and I love to do, I just love to do everything that they have, so.
Well, doing everything takes a lot. Why is it so important to be involved in everything?
Well, a lot of the things that in my life, I've been told I can't do things because I was born without an arm. And so, the things that I've done have been to show people that, you can really do something if you put your heart and, your soul into it. So
absolutely impressive. What are your plans after you graduate from Onamia?
I plan on going to NDSU and studying biomedical engineering. I want to go in the future and make prosthetics for future, people with like limb difference and everything. So
congratulations. What an inspiration. We'll turn it now to Lauren Bastian from Anoka High School. What are some of the top things that you're involved in Anoka?
Well, I'm involved in band, orchestra, Knowledge Bowl, swimming, and track.
What's so important to you to be able to be involved in so many things in your senior year?
It's really an incredible opportunity to meet so many people with different ideas and experiences from you, and I just really value that opportunity.
And what's next for you, Lauren?
I'm going to the U of M, Twin Cities.
Congratulations. Go Gophers. We will be right back with more Championship Saturday halftime action here on 45 TV. Welcome back courtside here with Coach McKenzie. Coach, you found yourself in this exact same position when you guys met a month ago. What happened in that first half?
Well, in the first half, when I look at the stats, the major difference is we got to play defense without fouling. Most of their points, everything's pretty even, except for, they're going to the free throw line. We're not. So we got to do a better job defensively, moving our feet, not playing with our hands.
But offensively, who do you want to see step up and put up some major buckets?
Certainly we need Eli Campbell to get going here a little bit. They've done a really good job, of protecting the paint and creating a little bit of havoc. So we got to do a better job of setting some screens and getting our guys open.
Thanks so much, Coach. Chris Long.
Larry McKenzie teams are 20-1 all-time at the state tournament, so figure he's going to cook something up. And Allie alluded to it, Leah Trent. The score at halftime a month ago was 32-15, almost exactly the same as this. Ended up being a 4-time game. What do you like out of the Red Hawks so far?
Their ability to get to the free throw line and get things done on the free throw line. That is the difference in this game. But I also like how they're turning North over. That's going to be a problem in the second half.
We're talking the whole first half. Trent, North just having trouble dealing with Chet Holmgren on both ends of the floor.
Oh, no doubt about it. And when you have a tough time getting to the basket because there's a guy standing there protecting the rim, somehow, some way, Northern would have to find a way to force some turnovers to speed this game up, to see if they can get some easy baskets in transition to get themselves back into this contest.
Yeah, North just 15 points today, just 15 points in the regular season meeting between these two teams, but they did score 44 in the second half to make it a game last time. We shall see if they're going to surge. Nasser El-Amin will be a big part of it, Trent.
But so, he has to step up and play well, but they're going to have to push the pace to see if they can get some easier baskets, because when they get into a half-court set, the big guy has been too much to deal with.
El-Amin has 6 points. Josh Hodges also has 6 points as well. As points certainly at a premium when you only score 15 points in the first half. On the other side, as for Minnehaha Academy, as expected, Jalen Suggs, a triple-double in the quarterfinal. Almost a triple-double in the semifinal. He's sort of the engine, but again, Chet Holmgren just so hard to deal with down low.
In the heads of every North High player right now is the thought that Chet is going to block your shot out of the gym. And that's what is so great about having a 7-footer down low who is as versatile as Chet Holmgren is.
The putback there is he had 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 blocks did Holmgren in that first half. The stats are brought to you by Luther. Driven to serve, visit lutherauto.com. Free throws, big thing, 15-5, 10-point swing there. Second half coming up in the AA Championship on 45 TV.
Earlier today, our state championship went to Henning, and did they put on a show, and all in the spirit of Jacob Quam, who would have been a senior starter and captain on this year's team. They carry his jersey to every game. They keep it on one of the chairs. The chair stays empty, and they raised it up along with their state championship trophy with great pride. They lost Jacob 2 years ago in a car accident. They certainly haven't forgotten him, and his spirit was alive and well here today. And that very emotional championship game, boy. And he's got some players, and they're one of the smallest teams in this tournament, and all they did was rack up all those points. Look at that.
Boy, Northwood's third consecutive year getting all the way to the state championship game. To go down and lose again, that stings. And Cade Goggle-Eye was terrific all 3 years he was here.
More to come. Another half to go. Then 2 games after this, El-Amin will inbound the ball for the Polars to start half number 2 from the Target Center. If you have a chance, come on down tonight. See a couple of what should really be great games. You never know, but they sure on the matchups looked like they'd be pretty good, and a good chance to see the Waseca team that you've heard a lot about, but I haven't seen around the Metro. And they're marching their band, by the way, which is awesome.
In fact,
and De La Salle's band is outstanding.
Yeah, Waseca went into Minneapolis North. I don't know if it was, I think it was back in February as well, and beat North in North Gym. Waseca did this season.
Keep in mind now that as a scramble for the ball, kind of a bit of a rugby match here. Next year, you can't have this matchup in a state championship because they'll be in different classes. Minnehaha Redhawks are going up to 3A.
Yeah, that's good. The Minnehaha should move up. I know Larry McKenzie, when North was a 1A school, he kind of wanted to go to 3A. He kind of publicly said that, and that might be something North should think about moving forward. To me, it'd be a natural rivalry, just like the Apple Valleys and Hopkins and Lakeville North, to have De La Salle, Minnehaha Academy, and Minneapolis North fight it out for the 3A title. Who knows whether that happens, but sounds good to me.
Yeah, it sure does. It'd be exciting. It'd be a good matchup.
Yeah.
They play each other anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, De La Salle and Minnehaha played this year. I know North and De La Salle played as well this season.
Well, this is real methodical right here, and then down underneath, the pass and the dunk attempt by Aligbe goes awry with the carom off to Elamine, and now another trip and another turnover and another jump ball, or not turnover, a jump ball, but a bit of a
scrum.
Well, we've had a fair amount of kerfuffles.
I agree.
Well, it's just because of the energy, and they're obviously trying to win the state title, and boy, they are really putting out an effort out there. So
yeah, playing hard.
Dave Lee with Kevin Lynch and Allie Arlt, and she'll join us here in just a few minutes as well, courtside. Right to have Chris and Leah. And Trent Tucker here after the games and between the games. And dynamite, a lot of great insight there. And that is a rejection. Give Caden Johnson some credit for having that happen, and then finished off by Mr. Holmgren. Suggs and Brown. This has been an interesting matchup, one-on-one, and as I said earlier, literally one-on-one, number one-on-one.
Boy, Chet Holmgren, take a look at him. He had 5 blocks in the first half, and that's block number 6 or 7 there for Holmgren. He keeps doing this, he's gonna be having potential, if he handles his business in other ways, a triple-double here. Points, rebounds, and maybe blocks.
Here's a problem, Kevin. Now Omar Brown is down on the bench for the Polars with 4.
He's played his butt off and really forcing Suggs to work, and he's got the whistles, and unfortunately he's on the bench right now.
We'll back it up. Elamine on him, and maintains the dribble, and then misses the shot. Energy expelled out here on the court. A quick surge down to the other end, and yet another foul call down there. So
I know Suggs, as he made his way to the basket, looked like he might have gotten grabbed, and that was missed, and he's right on the floor right there. But great bullet pass there down to Minneapolis North player, and gets fouled going to the basket. That's number 24, Willie Wilson.
That's Willie's first point in the game. You know, Coach McKenzie mentioned free throws. The Redhawks 15 of 16 in the first half. The Polars were 5 of 7. And that really is the difference. One more time. Holmgren. Make sure he's got it.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. I mean, Minnehaha Academy with the big lead here. They shot less than 30%, 29% in the first half. So there's some good stuff taking place with North.
And there's a whistle. And a foul is called on the Polars. And this should be on Devon Townley Jr. as they go to the scoreboard and look that up. So he's got 3 now.
Yeah, North has done some good things defensively. It's just that the free throw differential has been the big difference in this game.
This is Howard. Good movement into the hoop, and then the runner just didn't finish for him, but boy, had a nice effort to get there. Now the ball knocked out of bounds and rolls off the hands of Eli Campbell. Eli was held to 2 points. You got to give the Red Hawk defense good credit for doing that, because he averages 17 a game.
That's the 2 big guys, 7-footer and Townley Jr., 6'6" about, and
Aligbe with 2.
Minneapolis North just struggling to kind of get rhythm offensively, and they need to get something going fairly quick to give a signal that they can make a game out of this.
And the shot rejected there by Holmgren again. How many blocks does he have, Jeff? I got to double check that.
Got to be 7 or 8.
And he'll pop the 3. In and out. Good rebound. Oligbe strong under the hoop.
Nice. He doesn't get talked about as much, but his day is coming. He's an intriguing young player, no question.
And another whistle stops play down there. 14:50. They're going to take a timeout on the court here. It is 34-16. 14:50 to go in this ball game. Redhawks.
.org.
The second half is brought to you by PolyMet Mining, working to produce the copper, nickel, and other essential metals that make this broadcast possible. Back on 45 TV, Dave and Kevin here. Allie will join us in just a little while as well. Along courtside, I wanted to mention, Kevin, I double-checked on Chet Holmgren's blocks. And officially in the official scorebook, 8.
Yeah.
So you're right. He's well on his way.
He's a menace inside. It's not easy to go up against a guy that long and lanky.
Boy, I like that shot by Elamine. He dropped back, got it over him, but it didn't go in. Johnson. Covered there by Clifford Brown the third. You're not going to see a tighter defense than you're seeing today out here.
Suggs is he's played well, but North has done a good job of kind of blanketing him in his game. They're right up in his space.
Darius Hansen in the ball game now for North. That's him right there. He got a block right there, and they'll push it down. This is Eli, and he'll put it up and almost got it.
Wow.
All right, let's go courtside. Here's Allie.
Guys, we put so much emphasis on these athletes for what we see them do on the court, but these aren't NBA players. They are student athletes, and what's impressive for Minneapolis North is that 90% of their team are on the A and B honor rolls, and that says a lot because you can imagine how much time they're still dedicating in the gym.
Yeah, it's a good point to bring up, Allie. Kind of forget about it as you're watching them play hoops here. There's free throw by Eli Campbell is good, and that's there's Coach McKenzie. You heard him tell Allie earlier that they got to get something out of Eli here with a 17-point average. He's a great shooter from the stripe, 76%. 3 points in the game. Only the second time he's been at the line today, 1 of 2 while he's there. And now 2 of 3.
Yeah, Campbell and Elamine really kind of make this team go in a lot of ways. And if they're going to get into this game and tighten it up, they have to step forward and be really good.
Suggs, a lot of pressure. Look at him dribble through everything. That was impressive, and then drawing a foul at the very end. And that'll be on the Polars. Well, a lot of traffic to dribble through, Kevin. It's so easy to lose your dribble in there, but he didn't.
What a great skill to have, for a kid. Suggs about 6'4", and he can handle it too in tight spaces. That's kind of the big separator. A lot of guys can handle the ball pretty good or decently or very good, but as soon as a lot of bodies around, you got to weave in and out of players coming at you. That's impressive when you get to that point.
What's the deal with the socks he's wearing? Get a shot of those and get a chance. He's got 2 different socks. Look at that. Huh? Don't adjust your color. That is, he's got a lot in those.
I don't even know how to describe those socks, but,
they're fun. They're fun.
Yeah. Works for him.
Yeah. Remember, it used to be just a straight high pull up there, or else just drop them all the way down, one or the other. But now you've got all sorts of choices in there. Nice shot put up and in by the aforementioned Darius Hansen out of the Minneapolis City Conference with Edison, Washburn, Southwest, Roosevelt, South Patrick Henry High School. You and I were talking about that conference last night.
Yeah, North has really been such a dominant boys basketball program in the City Conference for a long time, like St. Paul Central in the St. Paul Conference.
On the way for 3, a little short. Holmgren right to him. That's a hard rebound. Came right back at him, and he caught it. 9 points for Chet. North will move it down by 18 points. Trying to chip away, but they're not having much success with that. In fact, right now, it's 8-4 in the second half in favor of the Redhawks.
Great.
What a drive by Elamine.
Wow, that's what I'm saying. Go right to the chest of the big man and force him to back up a little bit or foul. And that was a very difficult shot made by Elamine. He made it look pretty easy.
Look at the pass now to Caden Johnson, break into the hoop. That's knowing your teammate right there. And back at an 18-point spread. Campbell guarded by Legbe, and now whistle, and Coach McKenzie calls a timeout here in the second half. 2 more great games should be on tap tonight. Henning is our first champion we crowned today in the Class A, and they won it convincingly.
Watch this drive. I mean, Elamine is what, 6 feet, 6'1" maybe, and just taking it right. You know, that's the thing is a lot of times you know, players will assume, well, God, he's a good shot blocker. Wow, he's 7 feet tall. How do I score on him? And you try fadeaways, but long guys like that, you know, if you take it right to their chest, I'm not saying run them over, but Holmgren got up in the air and you take it right to the shot blocker, you either draw a foul or you force him to back up a little bit. And a great play by Nasir right there in that play, and hanging in the air and able to finish against the big man.
Eli Campbell with the basketball now, inbounding it. And in front of him is Craig McDonald. Elamine. And see something he likes here. An open look for 3. Too much. Hard rebound. He comes up and grabs it. Good hustle, good dish, and a 2-point basket by Wilson. That was a pretty sequence. And then Suggs went down again, Kevin.
I think he stepped on, as he was backing up along that, he stepped on the photographer right down there, I believe. Stumbled over him, but yeah, no, that was a nice play by Elamine, kind of following his shot and got into the lane and dealt.
Oh, he wants it. He's going right after it this time, and on the dish, loses the ball, turnover. It's a 3-on-1, and Elamine running to the hoop, misses a foul, not going to go, and then there's Wilson again.
Here we go. This might be the run that's coming here.
Let's go the other way. Suggs waiting down for that pass. They got it to him. Now here comes North. They're going to push it. Here's Campbell. He does this well. Holmgren with a huge block. Oligbe, nice save. There's Chet Holmgren dribbling, trying to get it out of trouble. Look at the big man. 7-footer taken down against the guard, and then the attempt to steal is going to be a foul. That's a pretty impressive athletic move there for Chet Holmgren. Wow, that was a nice little flurry of activity.
Well, these teams, yeah. I don't know how much contact there was on that play. Suggs went down the floor. I don't know if that was where he stumbled over the photographer, but the pace of this game has been picking up here the last couple minutes, which is good.
Wilson. Well, I tell you, that is a matchup, and they're trying to make sure Jalen has no room, but in the midst of all this, he still has 14 points.
Cooler heads are prevailing, but temperatures have risen a little bit.
Well, you've got 2 great defensive teams here. I mean, they can stop pretty much most teams in the state. Yeah. And this is a heck of a battle. Right now, the Red Hawks out on top.
No backing down here. At least not much.
And we've got Omar Brown back in there. Omar has 4 fouls working with him. Suggs and Wilson now. Jalen will bring it up. There's a pretty good spurt of speed he has. Takes it inside. Going to miss the shot. Going to draw the foul. And who was that on? And that's on Townley Jr.
North bench did not like that whistle and that foul. Looks like Suggs was a bit out of control here. Let's watch this.
Oh, that's what they didn't like right there at the very end. Look at that.
Well, I kind of wonder if we could get a different angle, whether Suggs put the ball into Campbell's, kind of, you know, gave him the basketball, and I think maybe Campbell was just pushing it back at him.
The result of this is Townley's got 4 fouls now. Suggs a 79% free throw shooter.
He really does have nice mechanics on his shot. I really noticed a couple of years ago in the state tournament, and you can see it here. Close-up shot. It's a free throw, not a jump shot, but really he was taught well as far as shooting the basketball. It's textbook form, smooth. Watch this.
Yeah, well in the game now, Kevin, 19 of 20 from the free throw line.
Wow, that's been the story right here, right there.
Again, 18-point lead. They've been able to maintain that. Elamine against Holmgren. There's Townley Jr. to the hoop. Good follow.
Yeah. North has just got to get a few stops, get a couple buckets, and their crowd in this arena is going to start getting a little louder here, but they just can't seem to get over a hump that they need to get over.
Nice crowd. A lot of people came out to see this game today. Holmgren on that little hook shot, little reverse layup there, and he's got 2 more. He's in double figures. Elamine down in a hurry, and Holmgren got a piece of him.
There we go. Take it right to the big man. Second time. Nice decision there. Draw the foul. Take it right to the middle of his chest.
That's his second personal.
Watch this play, Dave. That's, man, I mean, this kid, the sky's the limit for Chet Holmgren. One thing I am going to say about him, we talked about this yesterday, is I want to see him more post up. I mean, it's great that he's a 7-footer as Elamine makes that free throw, but it's kind of like Karl Anthony Towns going to Kentucky. He's a great outside shooter, Towns, but Calipari forced him to post up more to work on that part of his game. And Holmgren, you know, he's got some, you know, he's a little weak in the post at times against certain defenders, but that's a part you want to take advantage of your size, but being a great post-up player, not just a great perimeter guy.
It's a timeout here. 46-30. Redhawks in control in the second half here, but a lot of time left. Interesting game summary being brought to you by Catholic United Life Insurance, Annuities, and Retirement Products.
Well, a lot of free throws being made. That's been the big difference in this game. But Suggs getting it done. Ligbe, the same thing. Look at Holmgren getting close to that triple-double. Needs one more block. And then Elamine has been really good at taking it to the big guy. Second time we just witnessed here, drawing the fouls. And, yeah, 37%. That's the big reason. Another big reason besides the free throws why North is 16 points down here midway through this second half.
Well, Redhawks beat De La Salle by 8 points, right?
Yeah, that was a close game.
Yeah, so I mean that's, and next year they'll both be in 3A. Right now we're fighting for that 2A championship. Suggs guarded by Wilson. High cross-court pass to Holmgren, right over to Howard. He's in the lane and going to kick it right back out to Johnson. And Suggs is spreading it out.
Back in that zone defense here at North is. And
Suggs, a no-look pass to the side, and a good shot by Howard, and he's got 4 in the game. Oh, and the pass just kind of not quite ready for Campbell, picked off by Howard. There's Suggs again. See if he gets that trap right at midcourt, dribbles right through it. And then to Holmgren, a little alley-oop action. Woo! That was beautifully, Kevin. That brought the crowd to their feet.
There's good chemistry between Suggs and Holmgren. Nice shot there by number 44, Hansen. But yeah, a lot of the
look at this.
A lot of the alley-oops that Holmgren gets, it's from Jalen Suggs.
Well, I guess we got a play of the game right here.
Yeah, they've done this a ton this year. Every game I've seen Minnehaha Academy play this year, Suggs and Holmgren hook up for a play just like that multiple times.
Play of the game brought to you by Minnesota Rusco since 1955. That's a fan fave right there. The crowd was able to get in a little bit when we had a bit of a surge there for a while, but for the most part, not a chance to really go nuts here. Both teams can light it up pretty good. 73 points a game for Minneapolis North. Minnehaha Academy averages 76. So this is well below normal for both squads right now. There's a whistle and out of bounds. Dribbled out on the end line. So back in the game will be Hansen and Ligbe. There's Darius right there.
A lot of time left in your day. 9 minutes is it's gonna take quite a bit to you know, once we get down to 1-2 minutes and the lead for Minnehaha's like this, well, that's one thing, but a lot of basketball left to be played in this game. And North, again, they've just never been able to offensively get into sync, and obviously a lot of credit has to be going to that Red Hawk defense. Very good.
Holmgren and Suggs. Yeah, it's gotten really quiet in here all of a sudden. 50-32. People like seeing a little bit of the last alley-oop play. Now Ligbe thinking about that three-pointer. They'll shoot it right back out. Kevin, what's the strategy right here? Well, now Suggs will take it to the hoop. Misses the dunk. Rebound, Howard. Back to Suggs, and he'll lay it up and in.
Well, they're going to try to eat up clock. I mean, at this point.
Right to the basket. Another block.
Yeah, I mean, again, just having a guy that tall in there kind of makes everything difficult. And another foul here on North, and Holmgren handling the basketball. But yeah, I mean, Minnehaha Academy at this point, Dave, you just eat up that clock, you execute, you force North to really extend their defense. And when that happens, you take care of the ball, and then you punish them at the rim by taking it to the basket.
20-point lead for the Red Hawks. 8:05 to go. Howard out on top. They are dialed in today. Holmgren thinking about the three. And again, he can shoot them. He can play anywhere on the court.
He hasn't looked for his outside shot, Dave, as much here in the second half like he did early on in the game. Real quiet. See, I'd like to see Holmgren. He spends almost all of his time really outside. I mean, get inside a little bit just to post up. I want to see that part of his game.
Howard driving to the middle. Stop there, lead pass, and hanging in the air and trying to get that shot off was Omar Brown. He did a beautiful job drawing the foul.
Yeah, he did. Watch Suggs. The broken circle. You know, the ball came out of, I don't know if you saw that. It came out of his hands. It slipped out of his hands. Otherwise, he might have made that. But yeah, he hasn't had a really spectacular dunk. I think last year, was it last year or 2 years ago, he had a really nice tip dunk. But there's other options on this team as far as dunkers. Yeah, against Caledonia last year, I think it was.
Well, you're not a big dunk guy anyway, are you?
Well, no, I like it. It just sometimes these young players, and I used to love dunking when I was a young kid, and so forth. But
me too on the 7-foot basket.
Yeah, hey, I did some of that when I was a really young kid, dunking on shorter hoops. But no, it's just sometimes these kids get so focused on dunking, they want to jack up threes and they want to dunk, and that's all they do.
Trying to go inside. Good hands. Wilson had it and then picked off right again by the Red Hawks. Aligbay lets it kind of a floater go there. Just kind of a nice little release, and the ball runs out of bounds. And it's a turnover, and North will have it. Howard will pick up Eli Campbell.
That's a good matchup. Howard and Campbell.
Howard's tough kid, boy, inside. He's made some nice moves down there.
Yeah.
He's a steady Eddie for him.
Put together.
Elamine. The jumper. Beautiful. How do you stop that? Beautiful. How do you stop that? Look how fast he gets down. There's a foul. Caden Johnson. Elamine goes down hard. Hopefully he's okay. But now we're starting to look at some foul issues here for a number of players that have 3 of them at this point.
It looked like Elamine might have hurt his wrist as he was bracing. Yeah. Trying to get it. That's a foul, no question about it. That's where you break your wrist or break your hand when you're trying to brace yourself and you're falling. Got out of control. His feet got kind of kicked out from under him. But beautiful pull-up jump shot. How many nice pull-up jump shots have we seen, Dave, in today's first 2 games? Whether it's Sam Fisher there for Henning or it's Elamine here for North.
That's off for Caden Johnson, 6 in the game. Again, as I mentioned, the 6'4" junior, probably we're told by Lance, will play D1 football somewhere when he graduates. They got a great football program, as you saw with that co-op. Chris was talking about that. Did a nice job highlighting that. One more time for Caden Johnson. Red Hawks, the #1 seed in this tournament. The Polars, #2. So you got the matchup that they thought they would get, and that one is not going to go either. Campbell. Boy, they've done a nice job shutting him down a little bit. Look at that good pass, though. And then the reverse layup. Oh, what a nice play by Townley Jr.
Well, that's what you do. You let the big guy kind of drift by you, and you get to the other side of the rim and, use your body to shield the basketball. That was a beautiful play by the sophomore.
Suggs and Wilson. Suggs. Ball picked off. Here come the Polars. Got a 2-on-2 break. Wilson will take it in all the way himself and lay it up and in. Willie is having a good second half.
Get a couple stops, get a couple hoops, turn this into a 12-point game, and who knows?
Oh, Prince Aligbay on the pass from Howard. He's got 16.
Every time it seems like North is going to they have the little momentum. They're revving up. Then Minnehaha gets a dunk or a layup, and the momentum goes away.
Campbell, good try. The tip is up and in. And that is Townley Jr. who got a timeout on the court. 56-40, 5:59 to go in this championship game. check out Chet Holmgren's defense today, Kevin.
Well, 7-footer, sophomore, good timing. And he's pretty quick off his feet. Not a great leaper maybe in some ways, but so you don't have to be when you're that tall. Doesn't have a ton of weight holding him down either. He's versatile too, so blocking shots, it's catching alley-oops, reverse layups, it's sticking threes. There's a little pattern here. That's why he's a very sought-after recruit. And I would imagine when it's all said and done, Dave, all the biggies in this country, college programs are going to be after him.
Waits for Suggs to come down and get the ball. We'll see if he sees that trap, gets rid of it before it can develop. Holmgren now, he'll shoot the three. It's not going to go. Rebound by Omar Brown. Campbell. Brown. Trying to get something to happen. Oh, it just slipped. And now Hansen. Nice shot by Darius.
All right.
Good move. He's got 6.
14-point lead here for the Red Hawks. You get a couple stops and then you get a couple hoops and things can get interesting. But every time I've said that, then North gets a dunk or a layup. Or excuse me, Minnehaha does.
Yeah, well, it has to happen now. You're coming up on the 5-minute mark.
Yep.
And they're going to try burn a little clock here, it looks like. If Suggs, the minute you get lackadaisical on him, he'll go right by you.
Yep.
Johnson over 2. Holmgren. He'll dribble back out on top. Look at that. 7-foot sophomore. Takes it in, dishes it. Well, he's been down on the deck a lot today. Fall. He'll go to the free throw line. Where, again, he is a 71% free throw shooter.
I said yesterday that at some point he'll turn into a 240-pound guy. I don't know if he'll, maybe I was wrong on that. I don't feel he'll ever carry that kind of weight, but I can see him one day, you know, being 210 or 220 on that frame, and it'll be enough muscle on him so he can start to bang a bit more and then keep those skills and keep that mobility. It's going to be important for the position he's going to play, that the movement part. He doesn't want to get too heavy, but he does need to get stronger, which that will eventually come.
They have been really shooting their free throws well. 15 of 16 in the first half, and right now they're 5 of 7 in half number 2. And it's been the difference, obviously, if you look at the scoreboard. Nails them both. He is 7 of 8 himself on the free throw line. So North with, in their, I guess, considering the score, Kevin, officially we could say we've probably entered crunch time for him. That's a good drive by Elamine.
Yeah, that's kind of his bread and butter, that pull-up jumper from about 12 feet. And I mean, how many has he missed in a couple days? He makes it every single time.
Suggs fouled at the top. Dr. Chuck Ells, hey, join him at the 45 at TV Institute of Laughter. That's 5 nights a week. And laugh along with your favorite TV comedies.
There's the good doctor right there.
He'll be here tonight, I think. That's what I read in the tabloids this afternoon.
Tiger beat.
Jalen Suggs. And that one will go up front of the rim. First one he's missed today. Now, North. Get a little something going here in these final few minutes. Elamine.
It's these two, Campbell and Elamine, that.
Well, Campbell picks up. That might turn into a nice break and an over Holmgren. But there's the Holmgren factor, Kevin. Even if he didn't get a piece of it. And he may have, I'm not sure. Suggs, good spin move to the hoop, and then he's tied up and he goes down to the floor hard.
Yeah, just you know he's looming. And but you got to attack him. I mean, you just have to. You have no choice. And there's no question. 100% foul right there. I'm surprised his arm is still attached to his body. Get ripped off. That was a hard foul.
He had 10 in the first half. 9 here in the second half so far. He averages 23 a game. And sometimes he gets it quietly. I mean, he just kind of, all of a sudden you look up and said, when did he have 10 or 12 points?
Yeah, yeah.
It reminds me of the Jones brothers from Apple Valley.
Yeah, that's right. That's.
Hey, they're great. I want you to watch Jackie Kane and Paul Folger when you get a chance. Weeknights on 5 Eyewitness News. Catch them at 10 o'clock. And get informed. It is 60-44 here. North has got to get intense right here. And not that they haven't been intense, but they got to start lightening up a little bit and hitting their shots to make a run against the Red Hawks, which they did the last time they played. It was the second half when they had the big surge. And they can do it in a hurry.
Yep.
But so can Minnehaha Academy.
But if something's going to happen, it's got to be ultra quick here. It's got to happen right now.
And Campbell is a guy that can get it going. Good try by Brown. And keep it alive. Elamine one more time. Wilson way outside. And that one again. Battle for it. And it's going to go off North.
A couple interesting stats here in this ball game. Minneapolis North. No points from the bench. 12 for Minnehaha Academy off their bench. Points off turnovers. Minnehaha Academy 19. North only 8. That's been another part to this story.
North only 5 3-point attempts in this game, Kevin, and 2 of them just happened. Oh, look at that. Good series of passes, and Craig McDonald's in the book with 2.
Well, it looks like the run might not ever come in this game, and North, unfortunately, is going to get in second place as Minnehaha Academy. Just when they needed to turn it up defensively, especially, they did it and controlled the entire direction of this game.
Well, we're under 3 minutes now. Now let's see how much time they can take off the clock. We saw them do that around the 8-minute mark a little bit, then the 7-minute mark a little bit. Holmgren trying to drive, ball stripped. And here comes North. Wilson got pushed out of bounds. That'll be a foul on the Red Hawks. And they'll send Woolley to the free throw line. He has 7 points. He's been there twice. He's 1 of 2. He's only a freshman again, so a lot of youth in this game as well.
Yeah, Willie Wilson, freshman, like you said. Townley Jr. is a sophomore at about 6'6". The rest of the starters are seniors. We're going to miss those guys. But, yeah, North is just kind of, they get a lot of talent coming into that program, and they're going to be fine moving forward.
No free throw. Elamine's played a strong second half for the Polars. That 3 by Campbell just won't go. Holmgren's got it. Outlet going to come out to Suggs. Let's see what they do with it. Down court. McDonald going to glide to the basket and then draw a foul at the same time. Craig.
Way to run the floor here. Well, they attack. Minnehaha Academy is, I don't want to say they're as good as De La Salle. De La Salle is really good at, when you're in transition, move the ball with the pass instead of the dribble. Tyrell Terry is just the best we've seen at doing that, and that's why De La Salle is so quick in transition. Minnehaha Academy is right behind them, I think, as far as moving the ball down the court with the pass.
Oh, and a tip by Johnson right over to Ligbay. Mentioned Craig McDonald did accept that sounds like a verbal commitment to Iowa State to play football. He's just a junior, though.
Oh, beautiful.
That should put him in the triple-double there, Kevin, that last block. And Brown. Boy, he's worked his tail off here today. Man alive, has he worked hard.
Yeah, he has. And he got into foul trouble, and he was on the bench for a while. But early on in this game, that's one of the reasons why Suggs' numbers aren't incredible here, and then part of it was because nice block there by Holmgren, timing that perfectly. But yeah, you're right, Dave. Omar has brought the goods and the intensity, and he's a tough character.
And working with 4 fouls here for a while too. Brown's free throw, that's his, he's got 1 point in the game. There we go, Kevin.
Yep.
That's not easy to do.
We should find out how many triple doubles have ever occurred in the state tournament. Not too many, and Holmgren gets to join that list.
Suggs, McDonald in the lane, tied up from behind. Play continues. Red Hawks out at the top now. They got 1:48 to work with to get to their 3rd state championship in a row, and stepped out of bounds. The ball will go back to North. And we'll have the awards presentations, all tournament team coming up right after the game as well. They get out here right away and get that set. So the Red Savoy Pizza post-game show should be good, Kevin. Even better if they bring one out at our table.
Pepperoni with some green olives. I could. It's talking to me right now. Hey, one thing you and I talked about before this game, Dave, is you were kind of worried that hopefully emotions don't take over a game like this, and it really haven't. And give credit to these coaches for talking to their kids as Elamine gets to the basket, goes right into Holmgren yet again and draws the foul. But it's been really well played. Now, North hasn't played great, but a lot of that has to do with the talent on Minnehaha Academy. But the refs have also done a good job too, Dave, as far as making everybody calm, and kids are playing hard, and this game wasn't hijacked by too much emotion.
Elamine is a senior. Minnehaha Academy has never trailed in this game either, Kevin.
Yeah, they got off to a quick start.
Is Elamine going to play somewhere next year? Do we know?
We got to find that out.
I would take him in a second.
Oh yeah, I don't know his relation to Khalid Elamine, if it's his cousin, son, I don't know, nephew, but he's got the same type of body to him, kind of stocky or strong. He's a great ball handler, decision maker. He plays hard.
Yeah, he's had a good second half for him. 66-47, but you're right. Every time you get close to Minnehaha Academy, boom, they're right back down there, and they wanted another state title, and right now they're in pretty good situation. So let's talk about this evening, Kevin, because we're looking for De La Salle is a machine. They were the last game. They just were. They didn't make a mistake as far as you and I could see. Well, they take on a team that a lot of you want to see tonight, and you've maybe heard about Waseca. You don't know a lot about them. They've got some players. They've also got a couple of sophomores who are really, really good.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of talent, so it isn't a one-man team by any stretch of the imagination. And they can kind of play that same game that De La Salle can play as well. Plus, they have some height down low. So De La Salle's hard to match up against. But I am really anxious to see that one. And, of course, obviously, Lakeville North and Hopkins in 2014 they met for the state championship. Remember that phenomenal comeback at the end of the game for Johnny Oxton's Panthers.
Yeah, Elamine is the nephew of Khalid Elamine. And you can see the resemblance there. Yeah, that Waseca team, they really came on my radar midway through this season. They were like 18-0. They went to Minneapolis North, beat North in their own gym last month, and then they eventually lost the game end of the season, so they come in with one loss. But they are a team, if things go right, they can make it really interesting and potentially win that game against De La Salle. De La Salle is rolling right now, so it's going to be tough for Waseca, but I give Waseca a chance at it.
Good hustle again by Eli Campbell. All knocked out of bounds, and so it'll go back into the hands of the Red Hawks. 1:08 to go. 66-48. And the fans from Minnehaha standing up. But really, Kevin, really great support both sides. Saw a lot of blue in here for the Polars today. Good, the lower bowl is full. Look at that alley-oop to Alegbe, and that was from Holmgren. Prince has had a good game, too, when we go through the final numbers. There's another block, number 11 for the big guy. And then fouled as he tried to distribute the ball by Elamine, the senior guard.
A lob from the 7-footer. Typically it's the 6'5" guy like Aligby getting the ball over to the 7-footer for the dunk. But again, nice little display of versatility by Holmgren. He makes the lob, and Prince catches and finishes with authority.
And Holmgren hits the shot as they clear the bench now. They're going to get some guys in there. Funny thing about this team, you go to the bench, you still got some really talented players. It isn't like you're leaving up to a bunch of guys that can't play. You got a ton of talent out there. See Sam Gonzalez coming in. He's a junior, and also coming into the ball game is Bennett Tyson. Donovan Smith's back in there. North's going to bring in some players like Miko Anderson. Who else I seen? I see Jacob Butler just came in. And that rebound hauled down by Keyshawn Walker. And in the hands of Jermaine Harden. I mean, these guys are nice players.
Nice move.
Look at that. Yeah, to the hoop. Over Holmgren. Wow, is that going to drop? That was impressive by Miko Anderson. He's a 5'10 freshman. I think Larry's got some guys here who are going to be contributors over the next few years. There's Lance Johnson talking to his team. Red Hawks fans starting to stand up with the final 37 seconds to go in this game. And he gets the shot. So the freshman will get one more here.
Well, you know, I was kind of hoping here second half that North would make enough plays and score enough and get enough stops where they could, you know, get within, say, 8 with 5-6 minutes to go, and then the crowd gets into it and the North players get fired up, and then they make a really test Minnehaha Academy, but it just never came.
Rebound Howard. He'll push it down in a hurry. The dish to the corner, the three-pointer on the way, not going to go. Rebound on a knife by the Red Hawks, stripped away. 26 seconds left. Basketball in the hands of the Polars, Jermaine Harden. Back out on top. Butler for 3, got it. Jacobs got a triple.
Shot, freshman.
Coach Howard, he's played a good game. And Gonzalez to the hoop, won't get it. Followed by Howard, won't go. Rebound out of bounds. 2.7 seconds left in this one. And we will crown a state champion at that point. And have all the awards and everything for you right afterwards. Here's the last second of the game. And that's it. State champions again for the 3rd time in a row. Minnehaha Academy Red Hawks celebrate at center court.
Well, 3rd consecutive state championship in boys basketball, and they...
Let's check out our player of the game, Kevin, brought to you by Preferred One. Achieve your best health with Preferred One health plans.
Well, yeah, I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. You know, enjoy watching this kid play, because for a kid 7 feet tall, it's very unusual that you see a kid at that height can do the things that he can do. Now, he's got to keep working. He's not arrived. He's by far a finished product, but he's got a lot of good things to build on, and he's on his way.
They do a nice job getting out here right away with all the awards and the all-tournament team, and they'll make that presentation right now. How about the Polars? This was their 22nd state tournament.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, that's it. And Coach McKenzie had a great team there. You know what? It worked out like the seeding said it would.
Yeah.
Against 2, and number 1 walks away with a win. Let's go down to Jim Burns and get these awards here for the state title game.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'll present the 10-member Wells Fargo All-Tournament team, chosen by a panel of coaches covering the tournaments. These students have distinguished themselves by their athletic excellence, leadership, team commitment, and exceptional sportsmanship. Presenting the trophies for Wells Fargo All-Tournament Team Award at center court is Brian Hutton, the Vice President for Business Development, and he is assisted by Eric Martins, the Executive Director of the Minnesota State High School League. And now the 2019 Class 2A Boys Basketball All-Tournament Team. Unable to be with us from Melrose, guard Preston Caveney. From Perham, center Finn Diggins. From Lake City, guard Nathan Heisey. Also from Lake City, guard Reed Gassner. From Minneapolis North Community High School, guard Nasir El Amin. From Minneapolis North Community High School, guard Davon Townley Jr. And from Minneapolis North Community High School, guard Eli Campbell. From Minnehaha Academy, guard Jalen Suggs. From Minnehaha Academy, forward Prince Alegbe. And from Minnehaha Academy, forward Chet Holmgren. Wells Fargo and the Minnesota State High School League congratulate all members of the 2019 Class AA Boys Basketball All-Tournament Team. Fans in action earlier today at Concordia University St. Paul. Lake City defeated Perham 51-47. The fourth place trophy was presented to Perham High School, and the third place trophy was awarded to Lake City. And now, fans, the award ceremony is going to be conducted by representatives of the Minnesota State High School League Board of Directors, including Bill Adams, Dr. Joel Boyd, Craig Anderson, Krista Clark-Thompson, Mike Doman, Bonnie Spohn-Schmaltz, and Todd Waterbury. They are being assisted by Eric Martins, the Executive Director, and Bob Madison, our Tournament Director. Silver medals and the Class 2A second place trophy will be awarded to Minneapolis North Community High School. And we ask that the players and coaches please come forward as your name is called. 1, Omar Brown. 2, Eli Campbell. 4, Jermaine Harden. 5, Mario Sanders. 11, Jacob Butler. 12, Nasser Alamin. 13, Clifford Brown III. 15, Frashawn Collins. 20, Keyshawn Walker. 21, Josh Hodges. 24, Willie Wilson. 30, Miko Anderson. 35, Davon Townley Jr. 44, Darius Henson. And number 50, Chester Watley Jr. Student manager, Anwar Ahmed. Student manager, Joshua Collins. Assistant coach, Christopher Johnson. Assistant coach, Michael Shelton. And head coach, Larry McKenzie. And now, will the captains of the second place Minneapolis North Polars please come forward to receive your second place trophy for Class 2A. And the 2019 Minnesota State High School Class 2A Boys Basketball Champion is Minnehaha Academy. Each member of the official squad receives a gold medal. And as your name is called, we ask that you please come forward. Number 1, Jalen Suggs. Number 2, Caden Johnson. Number 3, Sam Gonzalez. Number 4, Craig McDonald. Number 5, Donovan Smith. Number 10, Prince Aligbe. Number 11, Griffin Liner. Number 12, Savion Robinson. Number 13, Bennett Thoreau. Number 14, Jamarian Watson. Number 15, Jerome Williams. Number 21, Bennett Tyson. Number 23, Trent Finney. Number 24, Nick Parton. Number 25, Trayvon Howard. Number 32, Aiden Phelps. Number 34, Chet Holmgren. And number 44, Siegel Howard. Student manager, Emma St. Andrew. Assistant coach, Chandler Sintel. Assistant coach, Randy Carter. And head coach, Lance Johnson. And now will the captains of the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks please come forward to receive your Class 2A Championship Boys Basketball Hardware.
It is a three-peat for the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks, champions once again of Class AA. They beat Minneapolis North 69-52, and that might be it for their run in AA. They are petitioning to go up to Class 3A. It'll be very interesting to see because they do not graduate a lot from this team. A lot of the guys who had big games today in the championship game will be back on this team next year. Chris Long rejoined by Leah B. Olson and Trent Tucker. Leah, a pretty decisive win for the Redhawks. Got ahead of North early, kept them at arm's length the whole way through.
Yeah, that's really how this game went. It really didn't have a lot of flow to it offensively, but it was about defense. It was about block shots and making North High only shoot 35% from the field, and so they did exactly what they wanted to do in this one. Minnehaha Academy, beautiful game.
Trent North just couldn't get through Chet Holmgren down low, and then just couldn't find the stroke from outside.
No, I mean, and if your game is taking the ball to the basket, and all of a sudden when you get there, there's somebody to turn your way time and time again, it's fine to hire any flow to your offense.
Junior Jalen Suggs had 20 points. Sophomore Chet Holmgren, how about this line? 16 points, 14 rebounds, 10 blocks, 4 assists. And by the way, freshman Prince Aligbe, 20 points, 7 rebounds. You don't normally see players that young having games like that on this stage, Leah.
Yeah, that was a monster game, and I think Suggs really did kind of set the tone in this one. You could see the pressure that was on him from North High. They were all over him, it was not easy for Minnehaha Academy to bring it down, but there were so many players stepping up along with him that they were just able to do what they needed to do out there.
I mean, that's the thing, Trent. They do take him off his game. He still scores 20 points, Suggs, that is.
Oh, I mean, that shows you how good he is. I mean, when he has an off shooting night, he still finds different ways to help his team win ball games.
Let's credit Minneapolis North for getting to this championship game, and this is a team that 23-9. The record ends up 23-10, but 6 of those 10 losses are to teams that were in the state tournament at higher classes. This is another tremendously successful season for Minneapolis.
You know, Larry McKenzie throughout this season, he will always schedule tough teams because he knows he wants his team to be peaking toward the end of the year when they begin to make a state championship run.
The Minnehaha Academy, they finished their championship season 29-2 as they get set to cut down the nets. We'll send it down to Allie Earl.
Chet just asked if he's in the camera. We'll start with Coach. Coach, you've coached this team for 25 years. Now you've got 3 state titles. How have you coached this team to such success?
I have great players, great assistant coaches. And in the last few years, the last 10 years, we've just been able to put it together and get to the state tournament and actually kind of finish the deal once we've gotten here. So I'm super proud of them.
This team is still really young. You guys close this chapter in 2A as you move up to Class 3A. What are some of the thoughts that come to mind as you close it out?
Well, number one, we have an incredible respect for 2A basketball. We're going to miss the tournament. It's challenged us for many, many years. Like you said before, it's fortunate over the last couple of years that we've been able to get here and win. So we just want to do it honor and climb the next mountain. So that's what we're doing.
It's not often a sophomore gets the post-game interview, but he got a triple-double in the championship game. What did you think about that?
Well, he's triple-doubled before. I'm sure it was points and block shots. He's had a lot of block shots this year, and he's going to have a lot more next year as well. So.
Bright future ahead of you guys for the Red Hawks. We'll go over to Chet. You guys won by only 4 points last time you played North. Why was today so different?
Just the stakes were so much higher. We just came out with 10 times the energy. We were telling ourselves we can't let our fans down, let ourselves down, let our team down. We just came out with the most energy we could, and we pulled out a win.
You know, a triple-double is probably just another day for you, but you do it in a state title game. You've been playing on varsity for 3 years, 3 titles. What does that mean to you?
It's definitely huge. I'm just glad we could do it for our seniors this year. Bennett and Siegel, they're a big part of our team. They do a lot for our team. They do everything they're asked. We couldn't ask any more of them. I'm just proud that we did it for them.
Congratulations, Red Hawks. We look forward to seeing you again next year.
All right, thank you, Allie, very much. And humble kids out there playing this game as hard as they possibly could. And that kid had a game to remember. Wow, Kevin.
Yeah, and they're not going anywhere, folks. Chris is right. They got a lot of their main guys coming back, basically, and they're going to be tough next year and probably the year after.
Much more to come on the postgame show. This is Championship Saturday on 45 TV. The postgame is brought to you by Red's Savoy Pizza. Red's Savoy Pizza, soda style since 1965.
Back with you courtside here at Target Center on 45 TV. Minnehaha Academy wins Class AA, beating Minneapolis North 69-52. The Nets are coming down both sides of the court. Minnehaha Academy taking down the Nets on our side of the court. Meanwhile, on the other side, I believe that's what we're seeing right now. Yes, that's Henning, the Class A champs. It's always kind of cool. If you win your championship in the first game of the session, that's single A or 3A, well, they need those Nets for the second game. So they have the team stick around, and then they get to come back out after their celebration in their locker room and whatnot dies down. They meet their friends, they meet their family, they have that celebration, then they come back down after the second game to take home that net that they will, tack in their bedrooms or put in the trophy cases. They'll keep those prized souvenirs for years after winning a championship, especially in Henning's case, first championship in school history. Either way, Leah B. Olson, Trent Tucker back with me. Leah, 2 decisive wins for both Henning and for Minnehaha Academy.
Yeah, I think both of those teams came in so focused at the very start of the game, and that really is the difference maker in these big championship games, is teams who play first half and second half.
And it was such a contrast. You have the Henning team that comes in. They hadn't been in the state tournament in 60 years or so. They came in, were calm, cool, and collected. Minnehaha Academy, who we've seen now win 3 straight championship games, same thing. They just very composed, never got worried, and ran their way to their 3rd straight title.
You know, Chris, both of those teams you just mentioned, they are good on the offensive end, but what set the tone for them right from the start was their defense.
Yeah, and that defense today, especially Chet Holmgren, just of course, the 7-foot sophomore, had 10 blocks in the game, and they just didn't have an answer for him, Liam.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier, the improvement of Chet Holmgren's game from last season, but he does everything very well. But in this game, we saw, the block shots I thought got in the heads of North High right away. But he's good from the free throw line. He can dunk. He does so many different things, and he's going to be a special player.
Trent, I think we talked about this as well. Confidence. You can see the confidence growing in his game from year to year.
Oh, no doubt about it. He's a very well-balanced basketball player. He can put it down. He can shoot from range. He can play with his back to the basket. He can block shots. He can pass. There are a number of things he can do, and as a defender on the perimeter. And I was lucky enough at the highest level to play with a guy like Patrick Ewing. So that gives you great comfort to go out and pressure the basketball. when you know you have that guy behind you that's going to protect the house.
The stats are brought to you by Luther, driven to serve. Visit lutherauto.com. We will wrap up the Class A and AA championship games here coming up. We'll also preview what we'll see tonight as we play for the 3A and 4A titles coming up.
L's.
2 champions down, 2 more to go. First, Henning. The Henning Hornets, they won, beating Northwood 67-42. That is the first state championship, not just in basketball, in any sport for Henning. And that's going to be a proud reception when they get back home. Minnehaha Academy pulling off the three-peat in Class AA. They beat Minneapolis North 69-52. You see what lies ahead tonight. We'll be back with you on the air at 5 o'clock. De La Salle and Waseca. De La Salle, they have won 6 titles in the last 7 years. They won 6 straight. Missed last year trying to get back. And then Waseca looking for their first title since 1918. And then in 4A, we have the regulars, Hopkins and Lakeville North, familiar to those of you who follow the state tournament here. That's coming up in the 4A game at 8 o'clock tonight. Leah, what are you looking forward to this evening?
I actually think they're both going to be really good games. I think all 4 of those teams come in here ready and a little bit edgy. I think in particular Lakeville North, I think, comes in here wanting to get this one tied down.
Trent?
Look for the stars to be stars on championship Saturday night.
Yeah, plenty of them between De La Salle, Waseca, Hopkins, and Lakeville North. It is going to be a fun evening of basketball. Already a fun afternoon. We crowned 2 champions. Congratulations one more time to the Henning Hornets and the Red Hawks from Minnehaha Academy. Minnehaha Academy knocking off Minneapolis North 69-52 to make it a three-peat. It is their 4th overall title. They have won in 2013 and then in 17, 18, and 19. And we might see him again, Leah, and we might see him at the night session, 3A.
Yes, we might. We're going to see some good stuff no matter what happens, though.
And Trent, Minneapolis North, not a lot of reloading to be done there. Freshmen like Willie Wilson, Devon Townley, a sophomore. We're going to see them again next year, too.
They had a great season. I mean, there's nothing to hang their heads about. We'll be back here again next year, I believe.
All right, we will be back here at 5 o'clock with the Class 3A Championship. De La Salle and Waseca, Hopkins and Lakeville North at 8. Until then, thanks for watching. That's it for now on 45 TV.